should be aware of it. There's something called tag, and crisp and RASI prompts, and so on. Okay. So what is what are these things? What are these framework? What are these frameworks is all about? Anybody has any idea? Yes. Oh, you started exploring it already. Yeah, very good. Okay, the tag and crisp, right? So what exactly tag and crisp, right? So they are. So tag is a framework, task, action, guidance. Ideally, I should have discussed this at the very beginning. Tag is equivalent to task and then action, and next one is the guidance. Okay, this is the simplest and most popular structure to write your clear, the prompts and all. Okay, so here the T is nothing but the task, and the A is nothing but your action, and G is nothing but your. So basically, as part of task, right, you clearly tell the AI in the sense large language model, Chat GPT, hey, you need to do classification, you need to do summarization. I'll just write down all the things you need. So you clearly tell the GenAI, okay, and GenAI. You need to classify. Remember, in the first session, we have seen the replacement, refund, information. I gave you assignments also. Only one person completed. Darshini. How about others? Classify. That one was related to classify. So we have seen, more examples related to classification, like refund or replacement or information or something like that. Okay. So apart that falls under classify category. And apart from this, we can use summarize also. For example, you have a big text, and you don't have time to run through each and every page. Simple example I gave you. Let's you are buying a new house, the agreement document, everything, they give it to you, registration document. Before you sign it, you want to understand what things are there, right? You just, upload it and then say, hey, please summarize the attached and highlight the, important legal related points. Okay, something like that. Okay. And then you can use it for explain also. Explain, extract, and answer questions, and translate also. What else? Translate. Yeah, these are the things. Okay. For example, you want to classify the patient's symptom severity. Okay. So in that kind of situation, you can go for using the tag. So that's one example. Okay. So now the question is, what exactly this framework is does. Okay. And how it is going to, you can do classification. Like I said, triage also you can use it, and you can use pharmacy bots, and so they developed a bot for specific to pharmacy, and agents also, right? You can use a tag. Okay, so that's the reason why it is popular. And the next one is the crisp framework. It's an intermediate framework. Here the context and role and instruction. Sorry, here you need to be role, instruction. See, the previously we start with task, action, guidance. Here we give the context, and then we give the and then we define the role, and then we give the instruction, and then S stand for steps, and then the next one is preferences. This framework. Okay, this is more detailed than our tag. Okay, because we are giving context, and then we are giving the instruction also, and steps also, what steps it has to follow. Okay, and in this case, right, it is really helpful. Okay, crisp. because same triage help, right? Triage example, if you take it, the user is asking about a symptom. Is this symptom related to my cardiac problem or any other issues? Okay, so in this case, right, you provide background so that the model can understand the scenario. Okay, and then role is something like, you are setting the tone. Hey, you are a certified medical triage assistant. Okay, and then you give some instruction like, classify the severity of the symptom. I just write it here. Let's take the same example. The context is something like, context, provide some background. Background is about this problem, okay? So that the AI can understand the scenario. Context. Next one is role. You are a certified, sorry, role. You are a certified medical triage assistant. And then what else? Role. And then next one is I, right? So I is instruction. What exactly to do? Okay, classify the severity of the symptom. And next one is steps. Okay, so here you are going to define the multiple steps, identify the symptom, check for red flags, and what else? Pick the category, triage category, which means, the critical or emergency or, less, moderate, something like that. Okay. So you just, say that identify the problem. And number two is check for red flags. Number three is pick, the triage category. Number four is explain simply. And then the P stands for preferences, right? Here the P stands for preferences. Here you are going to say, tone plus style plus format. Okay, and that is what you are going to do. So as I told you, right, CASP is popular because CRISP is popular because, right, makes prompt more complete than your tag. Compared to tag, this is more complete. And it is useful for complex tasks, right? It works in multi-agent systems. You need to remember that, okay? It is good for healthcare, banking and financial service, pharma, insurance, right? Internal bots, if you use it anything, that kind of situation, the CRISP is very much helpful. Okay, now the question is, yeah, very good question. So come, what is the difference between COT and CRISP, sir? Okay, so as I told you, you can use tree of thought for a reasoning problem, okay? Whereas CRISP is something like, you are giving context, a role, instructions, steps, and preferences also very clearly here, okay? So the tree of thought, basically, it tell your large language model, think like this, explore multiple possibilities and check evidence for and against and score or evaluate each sub-branch, eliminate weak parts, choose the safest or most correct outcome. These are the things you need to do it. When it comes to CRISP, right? So it tells us, what is the first you need to tell what is the context, what role you should play, what instruction should you follow. Okay, so these are the important thing. Okay, so so in this case, yeah. So which one can I choose it? Okay, CRISP is like, writing clear instructions to an employee so they don't get confused. To TOT is like, telling the employee, hey, to explore multiple solutions and pick the safest or smartest one. Okay, and CRISP gives you your prompt a clarity. The TOT gives the reasoning depth. Okay. Yeah, you can combine both. Very good. Yeah, you can combine CRISP and then TOT, prompt. You can, combine these two things also. Yes, very good. Okay, you can combine crisp and TOT also. That is also possible. But the best thing is, right, this one, the crisp. You give the context, everything. So that later point time, if you want to review it, right, the prompt, will even if a new person review a prompt, he will get to know the context. Yeah, so you can, yes, yes, you can combine crisp plus TOT. And this is exactly, what in the production grade, right, healthcare pharma system, they do it. So it gives the structure, which one, the crisp, what you need to do, how you need to write it. First, you give the context, next you define the role, an instruction, and then steps, and then preferences. Okay, so that is what. And TOT is a multi-path reasoning. Okay, so that the high accuracy triage you can get it, and whereas the crisp is low hallucination, and TOT is best path decision making. Okay, so the crisp is something like you are going to tell LLM, hey, this is what you need to do. TOT is something like, right, how the LLM thinks after receiving the instructions. It's as simple as that. So you're going to tell the LLM what it has to do. So TOT is, right, how the LLM should think after receiving the instructions. Yes, we already did that one, right? We gave one. I just mentioned it here. The TOT prompt, correct? This is your TOT prompt. This is what we tried it out. So in this case, right? If you combine the crisp and TOT, how it will be like this. First, you need to define the context. Okay. The user is reporting a symptom. You must perform safe triage, something like that. And then context, role, you need to define it first. And then you give instruction. Okay. And then for each branch, what you have to do something. For each branch, what you need to do something like that. Okay. And then yeah, you need to, before that, right, you need to tell all the things. Okay. And here, sorry, cost of contract is, this is a tree of thought approach. Okay. And explore 5 branches, and then each branch give bullet point, and then scoring it. Scoring is very much important. After scoring all branches, select the best one, and then yeah, and then next you can give some steps, right? Extract symptoms, identify red flags, something like that. Okay, and preferences. So likewise, you can combine these two things. You just give it a try. Okay, the crisp along with TOT. TOT already we tested it. It is working fine. Okay, what is the question? Uh, oh, why JSON output format? Correct? See, the output format can be anything. Output format can be anything, but the JSON output format is going to be a super simple one, right? Because the JSON makes the LLM's answer structured and clean and machine readable. Okay. Normal text, you can use it. Okay, maybe right. The normal text kind of messy one, correct? So, or to extract the structured data. And in the case of healthcare and pharma, JSON is essential. Okay, JSON guarantees accuracy. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay, so without JSON also you can use the, again, depends on your client. So tree of thought, we have seen it, and then we discussed about the tag versus crisp, and React also I discussed it. Okay, yeah, multi-agentic system. Yeah, multi-agentic system, we use it in general. Okay, so in that kind of situation we will use the React. So what exactly React? I told you what exactly React, right? Reason. Okay, reason and act. Okay, don't close your eyes and act. First you reason it out and then act. Okay, think and analyze. and then take an action, okay? And call a tool, external tool or something like that, do a lookup or classification, and then reason again and act again, right? An iterative process. And the same thing, right? You can use React also. So you can break a problem into sub problems, right? And then, yeah, you can use React also for this one, okay? The healthcare. Yeah, now the question is very good question. You asked this, and when React is needed, sir? Something like, right, let's say, some example. Let's say you took a new antibiotic yesterday, and today you developed, rashes in your hands, itchy rashes. Okay, in that case, right, it reasons out the steps, identify medicine class, extract timeline, compare allergy versus non-allergy, check danger signs, and then act on it. Mark symptoms as possible allergic reaction, something like urgent care, something like decide triage, priority, okay? And what about what the difference between React versus Cot versus TOT? Okay, if you want a step-by-step thinking, you can go for COT, one reasoning path. But if you want a many branches, many reasoning path, TOT. And React, right, when you need thinking plus action plus thinking again, reason, act, and reason, right? So in that kind of situation, React is very much helpful, okay? So it's something like, right, the React, right, you want the A must think and take an action and then think again. Right, so in the case of right chest pain case, the A should not directly answer, extract symptoms, reason about risk something like that. So the right, so then finally, okay, it should extract symptoms, whether he has a chest pain or something like that, right? Shortness of breath, chest pressure, and reason about the risks. Look for red flags. What else? Act, by choosing the triage level, okay, and then reason again if unsure. Again, reason it out. Keep, you are going to reason it out. This is really good, right? This is superior than the all the other techniques that we discussed. The task is complex and you need multi-step decisions, need safety checks, needs actions, needs agent-like behavior, right? So in that kind of situation, the React is really, really helpful. Okay. Yeah, which one is superior? Here there is no superior or inferior. It depends on your use cases. Okay, it depends on your right. So there is no single superior prompting method. Each technique is superior only for a specific purpose. Okay. Mm, okay. For deep reasoning, TOT is superior. Okay. Deep reasoning. For clear step-by-step thinking, right? COT is superior. Okay. And for agent workflows, React is superior. If you are going to use an agentic AI system, agent system, then React is superior. Okay. So if the system needs tool calls, for example, you wanted to book a flight ticket. So in that case, your agentic AI system should call a tool, external tool, and then check the availability of the flight and then book the flight. Okay. If the system needs tool calls and multi-step decision, what if the flight is not available, okay, at the same time? So can I check any other alternative flights? And for the same day, same time, are there any, what are the other flights are available? Which flight cost is, cheaper? And which, airlines they gives the special offer? Okay, and extract it and classify it, agent-like behavior, right? So in that case, React wins. React is the one, right? The agentic AI and all will be using it. Okay, so that especially when you use an external tool and do something like that. Okay, you see something like this. Your agent is something like this, right? Agent is something like this. You developed an agent and using LLM or something like that. In that case, what happens is it has to interact with the external tools like the travel website using an API. And then check the availability of the flight and the any special offer and which airlines offers what best prices, and then you just check the block the tickets, and then respond back to the user's email ID. External thing. So LLM, if you ask any questions, it give you answer, right? That's all. But agent is, it is, you're going to ask the agent to do some task. You are assigning a task to the agent. But what agent has to do, right? It has to plan, decision, decide, and then it has to act on it. So that is what agent is all about. Anyhow, I'll share you a couple of case studies with problem statements. Also answers also, I will share it to you. You just explore it and then understand the steps and give you some other assignments. You can give it a try. And the next one is, right, tomorrow what we'll do is we will understand the transformer architecture. What exactly transformer architecture? What components are there? Each component as part of transformer, how it performs, all these things we'll take a deep dive tomorrow. We'll try to cover up everything tomorrow itself, the transformer architecture, everything. And we are going to left with the agentic AI. Upcoming weekend, we will finish up one case study, real-time case study with agentic AI. Okay. So with that, we are going to wrap up this batch. Okay. And I will give you an assignment for an interesting case study for agentic AI also. You can also give it a try and submit it as a solution for me. But in the meantime, you interact yourself, okay, schedule a call and then have a discussion, utilize this opportunity, understand everything, right? Ask questions, try to learn it as part of this one. Okay. Okay, guys, you have any questions? Just give me a second. I'll stop the recording. Okay, since you